Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper for ClinchGear.com and for the Des Moines Area Sports Commission, the home of the 2013 NCAA Wrestling Championships. It's time for another Takedown Wrestling interview. Let's head this time to Cambridge, Massachusetts, where we find the David G. Bunning, 88 head coach of Harvard Wrestling, hard at work. Jay Weiss joins us. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing great, Scott. How are you doing?
Well, the bet was on that I wouldn't be able to get in your full title, but I got it the first try. So obviously you owe me that $5.
Of course.
All right. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a great time of year, and just excited to get going with the year.
I know the campus is starting to turn colors, but the kids are back. School's back in session, and now wrestling season begins. Practices start. There begins to be that anticipation. Well, a lot of that follows the release of schedules, and you guys recently released your schedule in the last few days, actually. You'll open your season November 13th at the Binghamton Open. It's not too far, and yet it's out of town. Talk to us about the Binghamton Open in New York.
Well, that's a great opportunity for us to get everybody matches, and when our official start date for practice is the 15th of October, so those are long 4 weeks where we don't compete and we're grinding. So it's a good time where we can get out and our guys are sick of wrestling each other. So you get different competition, and it's a good mixture of teams that we'll see throughout the year. Some we won't see, and get our young guys matches and really kind of let them see what college wrestling's about. So we've gone the last couple of years and we like it, and I'm anxious to go back again this year.
Well, Pat and the Papalizio boys do a good job up there, but that Binghamton Open has become a great opportunity for everybody in the state of New York to see great college wrestling early on in the season. How about the Keystone Classic November? Now you go to the state of Pennsylvania.
Well, this is the first for us. We've always we went back and wrestled up in Binghamton the following weekend in the past in the Sprawl and Brawl, which was discontinued. So I asked Coach Eider if we can get in, and there was a spot for us, and there's some good competition there. So it's another opportunity where we can bring multiple wrestlers. I don't know how many we'll bring, at that time, but again, I think tournaments are good for us because you're not just getting 2 matches, and you're getting a lot of matches, and that's a great way to we really feel it's like 2 weeks of practice, quite honestly, if we're getting 4 or 5 matches in on a weekend, so and if you think about it, at the end of the year, we train for the end of the year, and the EIWAs and the NCAAs are tournaments, so it's the more time you can get practice like that in matches like in the Binghamton and the Keystone, the better our team's going to progress.
We're talking to Jay Weiss. He's in Cambridge. I'm in Des Moines. Scott Casper here. Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invitational takes place the first part of December, 2nd and 3rd. Corey Jansen and Walter Peppelman have both placed in that. Matter of fact, Corey took 2nd and Walter 4th. That was in 2010. Talk to us about your expectations of the Cliff Keen this year. It's a mighty tournament. Over 40 teams compete in this event every single year in what some would say to be the entertainment capital of the world. Well, inside those walls of the hall, I tell you what, it's all business for the wrestlers.
Yeah, and it's always provided us we kind of do like a semi-peak because that's our last competition right before our final exam. So we train accordingly, and that's a big tournament for us, and especially now with the way the ranking systems are, and it's an opportunity for our guys to not only see great competition, but have a chance to knock people off. And so we really try to focus on that tournament being a real big one for us. And then we come back down, obviously, I think the day we come back, we start, our final exam. So it's a tough time of year on campus for here. But, I think we're going to have a good team. It's going to really depend on our growth from, now until, through Binghamton and through Keystone on how our younger guys progress. We've got a young team, a freshman, sophomore team, mixed it in with a couple upperclassmen. So it's gonna depend on how our guys progress. I always say, man, you gotta get our freshmen to wrestle like upperclassmen, and the quicker we do that, the better. And so that's the key. And I think, we'll get them prepared. They'll be ready. And if we can just balance a couple of things from now until then, I'm excited. I think our young guys are gonna do a good job, out there as well. So I think that kind of hopefully springboards us to the second semester.
Well, the young men will be challenged indeed, as the Crimson and Cream will not only be grappling with each other on the mats, but will be grappling with their studies. Harvard is not an easy institution to excel in, but those that do are generally well numerated in the future. Renumerated, pardon me. Corey Jansen, Walter Pepperman, we talked about them placing second and fourth respectively. Who do you expect? And looking at the paper as you see it on paper right now, who do you see as those that'll be stepping up to take on that challenge?
I mean, besides those two, Walter obviously back. Corey Jansen will be back second semester. He's just rehabbing an injury, and I think he'll be ready to go second semester. But we get some guys. I mean, Stephen Keith has gone to the national tournament, twice now, and he's going into his junior season. I'm really looking for a big year from him. It's like a couple years of maturity, and he's going to move up a weight class, which is going to help up to 133. So that's going to be nice. And I'm looking for some freshmen actually to step in. We have a real good one, James Fox at 197. He had a big year last year, in high school, and just watching him already this year, he's mature. He's going to be exciting to watch wrestle. So it should be good. And I got some guys that I think we're on the verge last year to break through, and if we can stay healthy and keep our attitudes the way they are right now, I think some guys are going to jump into it, and I'm anxious to see this happen.
Corey Jansen, Walter Peppelman are two of the young men that have absolutely put in the hard work, and others, I'm sure, will join and follow. The Midlands Championships takes place the 29th and 30th. We'll be broadcasting that as always, and that's what awaits Harvard following that holiday break. We all look for the holiday break, but wrestlers seem to have to take it on the chin each and every year. And the Crimson will open its dual meet January 6th at Rutgers. But before we go to the Rutgers meet, just talk to me about how special the Midlands is to you.
I think I've been taking wrestlers there since I started here, and just because it's always been, it wasn't on the schedule when I took over, and heck, that's a long time ago right now. But I just felt like Harvard needed to be represented at the Midlands. It's such a prestigious tournament, and I think we've had some big wins out there, and or not only that, even if guys don't pull off the wins, we get to see that Big Ten, a lot of those Big Ten schools. That helps a lot. That helps tremendously when we come back and prepare for the NCAAs, going into the second semester. So we won't take the whole team, but we'll take guys that we feel are ready for that competition. Some guys might need a little bit extra break. Some guys, can go right at it, right after the holidays. And we don't have a holiday break, but that's wrestlers. We never do, So I think we're used to it. But it should be good. I think that tournament's always been fun.
It's always fun. It's evolved a little over time, but the one core structure, the one core element that everybody can count on is great competition at this storied event, December 29th and 30th, the Midlands at Northwestern University in Evanston. You will meet up with Rutgers January 6th. That's where you open your dual meet schedule. Talk about Rutgers. They have, as you guys have, they have improved as well.
Well, they got some energy into that program, with Scotty Goodell and his staff, and anytime you bring in enthusiasm, energy, so things are gonna climb, and I think they've done a great job with their program. So that's a conference foe, and we weren't on the schedule, and when Scott took over, and it was something we need to get done. We need to get that on the schedule. I think it's good for both programs. So that'll be good. That'll be a big one right after the holidays. So it's going to be a tough duel, obviously. So it should be good.
As the season progresses, you'll see action against Millersville, Franklin, and Marshall. The Lone Star duels should be back in the state of Texas. How about this one? You're going to be traveling to New York for a meeting with Cornell. You'll open its slate there. That's January 20th, and then the January 28th date against Army at the MAC. This is an impressive schedule, Coach. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about it. It's tough. You're not giving any quarter or asking any quarter. What were your thoughts in designing this year's schedule?
Well, I think we always have scheduled overscheduled just for the sake of getting our individuals ready and letting them see tough competition. And basically what we'll do is we train accordingly, wherever we're at with the meat of in our periodization plan with the meat of our schedule. So, everything's important. And I think, being able to travel to get the competitions that we need as far as, the Cliff Keen and the Midlands and going down to Lone Star, but also our duels, obviously hitting up to Ithaca, that's a big duel. It's a good atmosphere, and they're going to be tops again, and it's something for that, we're chasing, so it's going to be good. But, we always have very few home matches, but when we do have home matches, we have a real good atmosphere here, in Cambridge. We got Penn and Princeton coming in, and BU and Lehigh. So those are big matches for us. And so we're looking to, get some good competition there. And I think we usually have a weekend off, and for some reason we have juggled things around, obviously because of the national dual schedule. So it's going to be difficult that way, and we'll have to look into that. We'll go straight through all the weekends, which is tough. I would rather have a weekend off somewhere to give the guys a break, but we'll figure that out.
I'd rather have a day off once a year if I could arrange it, but you know what? It doesn't always work that way. Jay Weiss, I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with the schedule. I'm also impressed with Peppelman being that 25th all-time All-American in program history. And of those 25, 17 have come under your watch. Good job by you.
Thanks,
are you going to be able to keep it on track? It looks like you've got one over the last 6 years, one each. Over the last 6 years, you're going to be able to keep that track going, that record going?
Well, we sure hope so. It's our goal. We want to get guys competing at the highest level, and I think every year we've been fortunate enough to have people be able to do that, and and hopefully we don't plan on stopping that.
All right, Jay Weiss, I appreciate you taking the time. Jay Weiss is the head coach of the Crimson and Cream of Harvard University. The schedule is out there. Take a look at it. You're going to find that they will be on some rather big trips, and they're going to be competing close to home, high and tight. And I tell you what, Jay Weiss, the David G. Bunning, 88 head coach of Harvard Wrestling. Jay, I appreciate the time today.
Thanks, Scott. Take care.
All right, buddy. For all of us at Takedown Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, thanking you and yours for listening to this special interview.